royal tradition may have been quietly rewritten, and not everyone is believed to welcome it. Reports suggest that Catherine has achieved a remarkable milestone after the Duke of Kent reportedly transferred the legendary Romanov Sapphires, sparking fresh speculation and intense public debate. At the same time, claims of Camilla's furious reaction have only fueled growing curiosity. What makes these historic jewels so significant, and why has this alleged decision attracted such extraordinary attention? So what do you think? Has this changed everything, or is the controversy overblown? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more royal stories. Legacy rewritten behind palace walls. Few royal stories have sparked as much discussion as reports that the Duke of Kent has chosen Catherine, Princess of Wales, as the future custodian of the historic Romanov Sapphires. If accurate, the decision would represent far more than the transfer of a remarkable jewelry collection. It would suggest that one of the monarchy's longest-serving and most respected figures has placed extraordinary trust in the woman widely expected to become Britain's future queen. That possibility alone has fueled debate among royal observers, raising questions about symbolism, legacy, and the quiet ways influence can be passed from one generation to the next. According to reports, the decision was finalized through the Duke's private estate rather than through the official royal collection. That distinction immediately caught attention because it meant the reported transfer involved personal property instead of crown assets. While royal jewels often follow well-established traditions, privately owned heirlooms can be passed according to the wishes of their owner. Even so, choosing Catherine has been interpreted by many commentators as a meaningful statement rather than a routine inheritance decision. The focus quickly shifted away from the gemstones themselves and toward the person selected to safeguard them. The Duke of Kent has spent decades serving the monarchy with quiet dedication. Throughout changing reigns, public challenges, and shifting expectations, he built a reputation for discretion, duty, and respect for royal tradition. Because of that history, every reported decision connected to his personal legacy naturally attracts close attention. Many believe someone with such extensive experience understands the symbolic value carried by historic family treasures. If he truly intended these sapphires to remain closely linked with the future of the monarchy, the reported choice of Catherine becomes far more significant than a simple gift between relatives. Catherine, meanwhile, occupies a unique position within today's royal family. As Princess of Wales, she has become one of the monarchy's most recognizable public figures, balancing official duties while preparing for an even greater role in the years ahead. Her steady approach to royal service has earned admiration from many supporters, leading some analysts to view her as an important symbol of stability during a period of transition. Those perceptions inevitably shape how any reported decision involving her is interpreted. The story also draws attention because Queen Camilla currently stands beside King Charles as Queen Consort, representing the present leadership of the institution. Although there is no verified evidence describing her private response to these reports, commentators have nevertheless questioned what such a transfer, if confirmed, could symbolize within the broader royal picture. Their discussion centers less on personal disagreement and more on how private family decisions can influence public perception of the monarchy's future. That uncertainty lies at the heart of this unfolding story. The reported transfer is not simply about rare sapphires or priceless history. It raises deeper questions about trust, succession, and the quiet signals experienced royals may send without making public declarations. Whether viewed as careful estate planning or a powerful endorsement of Catherine's future role, the reported decision has already become far bigger than the jewels themselves, leaving one question lingering over everything that follows. These sapphires carry secrets far beyond their brilliance, raising questions about loyalty, legacy, and hidden intentions. But could their private ownership change royal history? Why would this decision create unexpected tension within the family? What is about to unfold behind closed doors in the royal shadows? Let's unravel the mystery. Hidden history changes everything forever. The growing discussion surrounding the Duke of Kent's reported decision cannot be understood without first understanding the extraordinary history behind the Romanov sapphires themselves. These are not ordinary pieces of royal jewelry passed around according to tradition or ceremony. Their importance reaches far beyond beauty or financial value, carrying generations of history that connect European royal families through personal relationships, private ownership, and carefully preserved inheritance. That deeper background is exactly why the reported transfer to Catherine, Princess of Wales, has attracted such intense attention from royal watchers and historians alike. Unlike the crown jewels, which belong to the nation and are held in trust by the monarchy, these sapphires are understood to be part of a private family collection. That distinction changes everything. Crown property follows strict constitutional traditions, limiting how individual monarchs can control its future. Privately owned heirlooms, however, remain under the legal authority of their owner. This reportedly gave the Duke of Kent the freedom to determine who should become the next guardian of the collection without requiring approval through official royal channels. For many observers, that legal independence makes the reported decision especially meaningful because it reflects personal judgment rather than institutional obligation. The collection itself carries an impressive royal journey stretching back through generations. Its history is connected to Princess Augusta, Duchess of Cambridge, before passing through Queen Mary and eventually reaching Princess Marina, the Duke of Kent's mother. Because the jewels entered the family through private ownership instead of becoming part of the official royal treasury, they continued to exist outside the crown's permanent collection. Over the years, some original pieces reportedly disappeared from the family after financial pressures led to sales, leaving the remaining sapphires even more significant as surviving links to a remarkable historical legacy. Their connection to the Romanov dynasty adds another layer of fascination. The Romanovs remain one of Europe's most recognizable royal houses, and objects associated with that heritage often carry emotional as well as historical importance. While historians continue to study the movement of royal collections across Europe, these sapphires have become symbols of endurance, surviving changing monarchies, political upheaval, and the passage of time. Their continued preservation represents more than careful ownership. It reflects a determination to protect pieces of history that cannot easily be replaced once they disappear into private markets or scattered collections. This background helps explain why ownership matters so deeply. The reported transfer is not simply about deciding who may wear valuable gemstones at future events. Instead, it concerns who is trusted to preserve an important part of royal heritage for generations still to come. Every inheritance carries a message, but historic heirlooms often speak louder than official statements because they reveal private priorities that remain hidden behind palace walls. Some commentators therefore believe the reported decision reflects confidence rather than convenience. Others argue it represents practical estate planning instead of symbolic endorsement. Without confirmed explanations from those directly involved, both interpretations continue to circulate. What remains clear, however, is that these sapphires occupy a unique place within royal history, making every reported decision surrounding their future far more significant than an ordinary transfer of valuable jewelry, while leaving larger questions about legacy, trust, and the monarchy's future waiting to be answered. With Catherine's rise becoming impossible to ignore, could her growing influence reveal a deeper royal strategy? Was the Duke's decision truly about tradition, or something far more significant waiting behind palace walls? Let's find out. Strength forged through quiet duty. As questions continued to swirl around the reported transfer of the Romanov sapphires, attention gradually shifted away from the jewels themselves and toward the woman said to have received the Duke of Kent's confidence. For many royal observers, the real mystery was not simply why the sapphires mattered, but why Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared to stand at the center of such an important decision. The answer, they believed, could only be understood by looking at the path she has taken since joining the royal family and the reputation she has carefully built over the years. From the beginning of her royal life, Catherine became known for a measured approach to public service. Rather than seeking constant attention, she gradually developed a reputation for consistency, preparation, and dedication. Whether attending official ceremonies, supporting charitable organizations, or representing the monarchy overseas, she earned praise for carrying out her responsibilities with calm determination. Those qualities became increasingly important as the royal family faced changing public expectations and a rapidly evolving media landscape. While every royal appearance attracted headlines, Catherine often appeared focused on long-term service instead of short-term publicity. That steady image faced its greatest challenge when she stepped back from public duties during her cancer treatment. The announcement prompted widespread concern across Britain and beyond, with supporters expressing hope for her recovery while respecting her request for privacy. Throughout that difficult period, public discussion extended far beyond her health. Many people viewed her situation as a reminder that even the most recognizable royal figures faced deeply personal struggles away from palace walls. When Catherine gradually resumed her official engagements, many commentators described her return as a symbol of resilience rather than simply a return to work. Her recovery also strengthened public admiration. Opinion polls and public reactions suggested that confidence in Catherine remained exceptionally high, with many viewing her as one of the monarchy's most trusted figures. Supporters praised her ability to balance personal challenges with public responsibility, while others pointed to her calm presence during uncertain times as evidence of dependable leadership. Although popularity alone cannot determine royal decisions, it inevitably shapes public perception whenever significant developments emerge involving senior members of the family. Against that backdrop, the reported role of the Duke of Kent became even more intriguing. After decades of service spanning multiple reigns, he would almost certainly understand the importance of character, stability, and public confidence. If reports accurately reflect his thinking, some observers believe he may have viewed Catherine as someone capable of preserving not only valuable heirlooms, but also the traditions attached to them. Others caution that without direct confirmation, any assessment of his private motivations remains speculative. Nevertheless, the reported transfer has encouraged widespread discussion about the qualities he may have considered most important. As the future queen alongside Prince William, Catherine occupies a unique place within the monarchy's long-term future. Every public appearance, charitable commitment, and ceremonial duty contributes to an image of continuity extending beyond the present reign. Whether the reported decision reflected practical estate planning, personal trust, or symbolic confidence, it has encouraged a broader conversation about the people chosen to safeguard royal history. In that sense, the growing fascination surrounding Catherine extends well beyond one remarkable sapphire collection, suggesting that legacy is ultimately measured not only by treasured objects, but by the individuals entrusted to protect them. After decades of quiet service, could the Duke's final decision reveal a deeper royal mission? Was preserving these heirlooms about legacy, or something more unexpected? What hidden chapter of history is about to unfold behind this remarkable choice? Keep watching. Duty-shaped. A lasting legacy. The reported decision surrounding the Romanov Sapphires becomes even more compelling when viewed through the life and service of the Duke of Kent himself. For decades, he has remained one of the monarchy's most dependable figures, carrying out public duties with little fanfare while witnessing remarkable changes inside the royal family. That long perspective has encouraged many royal observers to ask whether his reported choice was influenced less by sentiment and more by a lifetime spent protecting royal tradition. If so, the transfer could represent the final expression of values developed over more than 80 years of service. The Duke inherited his title at a young age after the death of his father during the Second World War. From that moment onward, duty became a defining part of his life. He represented the crown through countless official engagements, military ceremonies, charitable organizations, and diplomatic events. Unlike more prominent members of the royal family, he rarely dominated newspaper headlines. Instead, he built a reputation through consistency, discretion, and quiet commitment. Those qualities earned widespread respect and reinforced his image as someone who placed institutional stability above personal attention. Living through several royal generations also gave him a unique understanding of how traditions survive. He witnessed periods of celebration, public criticism, constitutional change, and shifting expectations placed upon the monarchy. Along the way, historic objects, family heirlooms, and ceremonial treasures remained constant reminders of continuity. For someone who spent decades preserving royal customs, valuable collections were never simply decorative possessions. They represented visible connections between the past, the present, and the future, carrying stories that could easily disappear if separated from the family that gave them meaning. That historical awareness may explain why preserving important heirlooms appears to have become such a significant concern. Reports surrounding the Romanov Sapphires often point to the fact that portions of earlier family collections were sold during periods of financial pressure. Those losses demonstrated how quickly pieces of royal history could become scattered once they left family ownership. Whether motivated by personal experience or careful planning, the reported effort to secure the remaining collection suggests a determination to prevent similar losses from happening again. In that context, preservation becomes just as important as possession. Estate planning also forms an important part of the discussion. Unlike official royal property, privately owned collections can be distributed according to legal instructions established by their owner. That freedom reportedly allowed the Duke of Kent to shape the future of his collection based on his own priorities rather than established palace procedures. Some observers believe this reflects thoughtful planning designed to protect historical treasures for future generations. Others argue it simply demonstrates responsible management of private assets. Without official confirmation explaining his intentions, both interpretations remain possible. What appears beyond dispute is the Duke's lifelong respect for responsibility and continuity. His decades of service suggest someone deeply aware that every important decision leaves a lasting mark on royal history. If the reported transfer reflects that philosophy, then the Romanov Sapphires become more than treasured jewels. They become symbols of careful stewardship, entrusted to someone believed capable of protecting both their history and their meaning. That possibility gives the reported decision lasting significance, while raising even larger questions about the legacy the Duke ultimately hoped to leave behind. With Catherine's symbolic rise becoming harder to ignore, could this shift quietly reshape the royal balance? Is Camilla's connection to tradition facing a new challenge? And what hidden consequences could emerge from this unexpected change within the palace walls as the next royal chapter unfolds? Stay with us. Symbolism redefines royal balance quietly. As the reported transfer of the Romanov Sapphires continued attracting attention, discussion naturally expanded beyond the jewels themselves and toward the changing dynamics within the royal family. Much of that conversation centered on Queen Camilla, not because any verified evidence revealed her personal reaction, but because the reported decision appeared to highlight two very different forms of royal influence. On one side stood the Queen Consort, representing the institution as it exists today. On the other stood Catherine, Princess of Wales, increasingly viewed as a symbol of the monarchy's future. That contrast became one of the most debated aspects of the entire story. Queen Camilla's position carries undeniable constitutional importance. As the wife of King Charles III, she performs official duties while supporting the monarch during a significant period of transition. Through her role, she has access to many of the historic crown jewels and royal collections used for state occasions, diplomatic receptions, and ceremonial events. Those remarkable pieces belong to the institution rather than to any individual member of the family. They remain part of the nation's heritage and are worn according to royal tradition instead of personal ownership. The reported Romanov Sapphire transfer, however, falls into a completely different category. Because the collection is understood to be private family property rather than part of the crown jewels, it reportedly remains outside the formal system governing official royal treasures. That legal distinction has become central to the discussion. It suggests that any reported decision concerning the collection reflects the wishes of its owner, instead of established palace procedures. For many observers, that difference transforms an inheritance into something carrying deeper symbolic meaning. Commentators have therefore questioned whether the reported transfer represents more than careful estate planning. Some believe it demonstrates confidence in Catherine's long-term role within the monarchy. Others argue that private family decisions should not automatically be interpreted as institutional statements. Both perspectives continue to circulate because no official explanation has fully addressed the reasoning behind the reported choice. Without direct confirmation, much of the debate remains centered on interpretation rather than certainty. Public perception has nevertheless played an important role. Catherine's growing popularity, combined with her position as the future queen, has encouraged many supporters to view the reported transfer as another sign of confidence in the next generation. Meanwhile, Camilla continues fulfilling responsibilities tied directly to the current reign and its ceremonial traditions. Rather than creating two competing positions, these roles reflect different responsibilities within the same institution. Even so, public discussion often compares them, especially when significant royal developments emerge. Palace optics also contribute to the fascination. In royal life, appearances frequently carry symbolic weight beyond official announcements. A privately owned heirloom entrusted to one senior royal can inspire widespread speculation, even when constitutional authority remains unchanged. Historic objects often become powerful visual reminders of continuity, trust, and legacy, encouraging observers to search for meanings that extend beyond legal documents or inheritance arrangements. Whether the reported transfer ultimately proves to be remembered as practical estate planning or a lasting symbol of confidence, it has already reshaped the public conversation. Rather than focusing solely on priceless sapphires, attention has shifted toward what they may quietly represent about the monarchy's present, its future, and the evolving balance between tradition, personal trust, and public perception. Royal jewels may carry secrets far beyond their sparkle. But what happens when a priceless heirloom becomes a powerful message? Could these sapphires reshape perceptions of the monarchy? And what hidden chapter of their journey is about to unfold before the world? Jewels carry more than wealth. As debates surrounding the reported Romanov sapphire transfer continued to grow, another question quietly emerged beneath the surface. Why would a collection of gemstones create so much attention inside and outside the royal family? The answer lies in the unique role royal jewelry has played for centuries. These pieces are far more than valuable accessories reserved for formal occasions. They serve as visible reminders of history, continuity, and identity, carrying stories that often speak more loudly than official statements ever could. Understanding that symbolism helps explain why the reported decision involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, has attracted such lasting interest. Throughout royal history, heirlooms have represented continuity during periods of change. Kings and queens come and go, governments evolve, and public expectations shift. Yet historic jewels often remain as silent witnesses connecting one generation to the next. Every tiara, necklace, or brooch carries memories of the people who wore it before, preserving traditions that extend far beyond individual reigns. When a historic collection changes hands, observers rarely see it as an ordinary inheritance. Instead, they often interpret the moment as a message about trust, responsibility, and the future direction of the monarchy itself. That symbolism becomes especially important during state occasions. Royal jewelry is carefully selected for diplomatic receptions, national celebrations, and ceremonies watched by audiences around the world. Every appearance is studied by historians, journalists, and royal supporters searching for meaning behind each choice. Certain pieces may honor a previous monarch, acknowledge historical relationships, or reflect continuity during significant national moments. Because of this long-standing tradition, the reported transfer of the Romanov sapphires naturally invited questions extending well beyond their beauty or financial worth. The reported collection also carries historical weight through its private family lineage. Unlike the crown jewels, which belong to the institution, privately owned heirlooms preserve personal family history, alongside official royal tradition. That distinction gives collections like the Romanov Sapphires a unique role within the monarchy. They exist between public symbolism and private legacy, making every reported decision concerning their future especially significant. For many observers, ownership becomes important not because it grants authority, but because it reflects confidence in the person chosen to preserve that history. Public messaging also plays an undeniable role. The royal family rarely explains every symbolic decision in detail, leaving many moments open to interpretation. As a result, objects themselves often become powerful forms of communication. A historic jewel appearing at a carefully chosen event can spark discussion about continuity, remembrance, or generational change without a single public speech. Whether intentional or coincidental, these visual symbols frequently shape public understanding of the monarchy in ways official announcements cannot fully achieve. Some commentators therefore believe the reported transfer represents confidence in Catherine's ability to carry important traditions into the future. Others caution against reading too much into an unconfirmed private estate decision, arguing that practical considerations may have played an equally important role. Both perspectives remain part of the wider conversation because no official explanation has fully settled the debate. Whatever the ultimate motivation may have been, the reported Romanov sapphire transfer demonstrates that royal heirlooms possess influence reaching far beyond precious stones and historic craftsmanship. They embody memory, responsibility, and continuity, transforming physical objects into enduring symbols of legacy. That deeper significance explains why this reported decision continues to resonate, suggesting that the true value of the sapphires lies not in what they are worth, but in what they are believed to represent for generations still to come. Decades from now, could Charlotte's connection to this legacy reshape the royal family's future? Will hidden traditions and untold stories emerge through generations of women who protect the crown's history? What surprising chapter awaits as this connection unfolds and reveals a future no one expected? Stay tuned. Charlotte's future legacy begins now. As discussions about the Romanov sapphire transfer continued, attention shifted beyond Catherine, Princess of Wales, toward what the decision could represent for future generations of the royal family. The possibility that these historic jewels could one day become connected with Princess Charlotte's legacy added another layer of meaning to an already closely followed story. Rather than being viewed simply as a collection of precious stones, the sapphires came to symbolize continuity, family memory, and the preservation of history across generations. Royal heirlooms often carry stories that extend far beyond their material value, linking those who protected them in the past with those responsible for safeguarding them in the future. For Catherine, the reported responsibility surrounding such historic treasures would represent more than ownership. It would reflect the role of preserving traditions and maintaining connections between different eras of the monarchy. Observers have suggested that if the sapphires remain connected to Catherine's stewardship, they could eventually influence how Charlotte understands her own place within royal history. As the daughter of Prince William and Catherine, Princess Charlotte represents a future generation of the monarchy. Her position within the line of succession has naturally created interest in how family treasures and symbolic traditions may eventually become part of her story. The reported sapphire transfer raises broader questions about how royal women preserve and pass on heritage through changing times. Throughout royal history, jewelry has often carried powerful connections between generations of women. Pieces worn by queens and princesses become reminders of service, identity, and family legacy. In that sense, any future relationship between Catherine, Charlotte, and the Romanov sapphires would represent more than the transfer of valuable objects. It would reflect a tradition of carrying royal history forward. However, the long-term meaning of the reported transfer remains open to interpretation. Some view it as an effort to protect an important collection for the future, while others caution against assuming it carries deeper messages about succession or influence. Without direct confirmation of future plans, Charlotte's potential connection to the sapphires remains speculation rather than certainty. Even so, the discussion highlights why royal heirlooms continue to capture public interest. They connect personal stories with historical moments, allowing future generations to maintain a link with those who came before them. The Romanov Sapphires now represent a wider conversation about preservation, family continuity, and the evolving identity of the modern monarchy. Their future remains unknown, but their symbolic importance continues to grow. As the royal image continues to evolve, could Catherine's quiet influence become the force that reshapes the future? What hidden signals are changing public loyalty? And what unexpected moment will reveal the true direction of the monarchy's next great royal transformation and hidden future chapter? Stay glued. Royal balance shifts behind walls. The Romanov sapphire transfer gained attention. The focus expanded beyond the jewels themselves. Observers began asking how a private family decision could influence perceptions of the modern monarchy. Although the reported choice involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, did not alter constitutional authority or official responsibilities, it sparked conversations about the evolving image and future direction of the royal family. The significance of the sapphires extended beyond ownership of a historic collection. For many, the reported transfer represented ideas of trust, heritage, and confidence in the next generation. Catherine's growing presence within the monarchy added another dimension to the discussion, as supporters and analysts examined how her role continues to shape public views of the institution. As Princess of Wales, Catherine has become closely associated with the monarchy's future image. Her public duties, charitable efforts, and consistent approach have contributed to perceptions of stability during a period of transition. While she holds no direct constitutional power, her actions and public presence influence how younger audiences connect with the royal family. The situation also highlighted the different positions within the institution. King Charles III and Queen Camilla represent the current reign, while Catherine and Prince William symbolize the future. These roles remain separate, yet symbolic moments involving senior royals often create comparisons and fuel public discussion. Since the sapphires were reportedly connected to Catherine rather than the official royal collection, many viewed the decision as a reflection of changing perceptions rather than a formal change in royal authority. That distinction remains crucial. A private inheritance does not change succession rules, create new responsibilities, or rewrite royal traditions. However, symbolism has always played an important role in the monarchy's relationship with the public. Historic objects and personal gestures can carry emotional meaning even when legal structures remain untouched. Some observers see the reported transfer as a thoughtful effort to preserve heritage, while others view it simply as a private family matter. Without official confirmation explaining the deeper intentions behind the decision, interpretations remain open. Still, the discussion reveals a larger truth about modern royalty. Influence comes not only from titles, but also from trust, reputation, and the ability to represent continuity. Ultimately, the reported Romanov sapphire transfer became part of a wider conversation about the monarchy's evolving identity. Whether remembered as a personal choice or a symbolic gesture, it showed how heirlooms can shape discussions about leadership, legacy, and the future of the royal family. As the royal world reflects on this unprecedented gesture, hidden consequences may soon emerge. Was this truly a final act of trust or the beginning of a deeper transformation? What secrets will this decision reveal about Catherine's future role, and how will history judge it? Legacy beyond the royal jewels. The reported transfer of the Romanov sapphires represents a story that goes far beyond the movement of a historic collection from one royal figure to another. At its center is a larger question. What does this decision reveal about trust, legacy, and the future direction of the monarchy? For generations, royal heirlooms have carried memories of those who protected them. The Duke of Kent's reported decision to place the sapphires under Catherine, Princess of Wales's stewardship, has been viewed by many observers as a symbolic moment connecting the traditions of the past with the individuals expected to represent the monarchy in the future. The focus is not simply on ownership, but on preservation, responsibility, and continuity. The Duke's decades of service to the royal family add another layer to the discussion. Throughout his public life, he witnessed changing expectations, shifting attitudes, and moments when the monarchy had to adapt while protecting its identity. This experience may explain why the reported decision has drawn attention. Some believe it reflects careful consideration about who could best preserve an important part of family history, while others argue such choices should be understood as personal matters. Catherine's expanding role has also influenced how the reported transfer is perceived. As Princess of Wales and future Queen, she represents a significant part of the monarchy's next chapter. Her dedication, resilience, and public presence have helped shape an image of stability and continuity. Because of this, historic objects associated with her naturally receive greater interest and attention. The discussion surrounding Queen Camilla shows how symbolic royal moments can create different interpretations. There is no confirmed evidence of conflict, yet the reported transfer has encouraged comparisons between senior members of the royal family. Camilla represents the current reign beside King Charles III, while Catherine represents the future alongside Prince William. Their positions are different, but public attention often examines how these moments influence perceptions of importance and influence. Ultimately, the Romanov Sapphires have become part of a broader conversation about how history is preserved. Their value comes not only from their beauty, but from the stories, responsibilities, and expectations attached to them. Whether remembered as a private decision or a symbolic gesture, the reported transfer has raised questions about Catherine's future role, the Duke's lasting influence, and the monarchy's evolving identity. As change continues, the sapphires remain a reminder that history is shaped by trust and lasting legacy. So, what do you think? Was the Duke's reported decision to transfer the Romanov sapphires truly a defining victory for Catherine and the future of the monarchy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned, because the next royal revelation may be even more surprising than this one.